What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on first take, they're going to be talking about who's going to be the most valuable player in the Super Bowl. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Here are the latest odds to win MVP of the big game. No surprise, the quarterbacks are at top, but tied for third.
Yep, and Tom Brady should be at the top.
Talk about those weapons Mahomes has. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Max, tell me this. Who's the most important non-quarterback playing in the Super Bowl?
It's going to be Travis Kelce for a number of reasons. The number Tyreek Hill did on the Bucs when they first linked up, especially in the first quarter, means you ain't going to see single coverage on Tyreek Hill. Like, if that's what the Bucs do, God bless them, but I do not expect that. And the Bucs secondary's been all over everyone. They've blanketed everyone, and the entire defense at all three levels. They can create turnovers. They can get to the quarterback, the whole thing. But I cannot imagine they don't bracket Tyreek Hill. You got to send more resources his way. Now, Patrick Mahomes is missing his two tackles, his left and right tackle. And they're not just ordinary guys.
That could be a problem.
Mitch Schwartz has been an absolute stud. He was just named to the PFF, Pro Football Focus's all-second team for the last decade. All-decade team, second team. And Fisher was a number one overall pick. Number one overall pick, been to a couple of Pro Bowls. They're missing. So what does that mean? The run game, which is just mediocre, going to get a little worse. Protection for Mahomes, because the Bucs want to try and get him with 4, is going to get a little worse. The time Mahomes has is going to go down, and Tyreek Hill is going to be bracketed. That means Travis Kelce, the tight end, is going to have to do all types of stuff, not just catching passes, blocking, and everything. I expect him, who is all world, I expect Kelce to have a great game, and the Chiefs are going to need it if they want to win.
Well, Kelce.
So I agree with Max somewhat. Obviously, everybody knows that Tyreek Hill is probably going to be double teamed. But for me, I'd play it from a different standpoint. So I would double team checking on and off with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, depending on situational. I would play situational football with them, what down it is, where they're at on the field, and things of that nature is when I would double team Tyreek Hill or either Travis Kelce. And in order to do that, you'd have to watch a ton of film to figure out what the Kansas City Chiefs like to do. What are some surprise plays that might try to throw in there in the package, just things of that nature. But definitely, all this isn't really going to matter because Tom Brady is going to win the Super Bowl and he's going to be the MVP. So let's continue.
Going to have a great game, but I think the most important non-quarterback weapon is going to be Tyreek Hill. I just think he's electrifying. 5 times this year, he's had 100-plus receiving yards. During the regular season, we know what one of those was. It was 269 yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 207 yards on 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. One time he backpedaled into the end zone. Another time he backflipped into the end zone. This is how much he toyed with them. Then we get to the postseason. The postseason, obviously, is more important than the regular season. Those are where 2 of his 100-plus receiving yards came. It's 110 against Cleveland, 172 against Buffalo. The bigger the moment, this brother shines. When we talk about that pass, Max, that I called damn near Hail Mary in the Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes was looking below average for the first 3.5 quarters, who the hell caught that pass? It was Tyreek Hill. This is what he does. And I don't give a damn what kind of coverage you are. Cat quick, you watch him against Buffalo and some of the moves he made after the catch. It's like, my God, he just moves at a different speed. And just the cutbacks, the elusivity. This dude is so special. I don't see any answer for him. They can try. I think they will. Obviously, I don't know if there's anything that they're going to be able to do with Tyreek Hill. I really don't.
So like I said, I would use situational football to take care of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But also, I think Tom Brady is definitely going to come through. He's not going to let Patrick Mahomes dig himself into a hole and then be able to get out of it by coming back, having these miraculous comebacks. Tom Brady's too well seasoned and is the GOAT to be able to let Patrick Mahomes dig himself into a hole and then let him come back last minute like he did against the San Francisco 49ers. And Patrick Mahomes almost didn't get out of it. He almost didn't get out of it last year. It was only the 49ers decided to run the rock or decided to pass the rock instead of run the rock with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, which is, gave Patrick Mahomes enough time to come back. But I don't think Tom Brady's smarter than a Jimmy Garoppolo and won't let Patrick Mahomes dig himself out of a hole that he dug himself. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Yeah, when you look at those two dudes, right, you think about what they have been throughout the season. Both over 1,400 yards, both dominating in the playoffs. 100-yard receiving games for both of them in each of the last two playoff games. And I don't know. See, I don't get to come to the meeting because I'm already working, which is good because I could just come on and say whatever crap I want. Because I think the most important non-quarterback is Todd Bowles. And the reason I say that is the reason that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the playoffs has nothing to do with the TB that plays offense. It's the TB that's the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the 3 turnovers or the 3 interceptions you get against Drew Brees and the 1 forced fumble that's forced by Antoine Winfield, picked up by Devin White. It's picking off the ball late in the half against Aaron Rodgers. It's not giving up points on 3 turnovers by Tom Brady, only giving up 6 points throughout that game, being able to get pressure. Now, what are you going to do to adjust to what Stephen A was talking about in the first game? The fact that you couldn't stop Tyreek Hill early, the fact that we understood each and every play that he was going to be matched up with Carlton Davis and you were going to be in a single high safety. Will you go to 2-man? Will you play some cover 2? How will you affect the quarterback with both tackles being out of the game? This is going to be about Todd Bowles, his willingness to adjust, and the timeliness of his calls when facing the best quarterback we've ever seen. And no matter what happens in this game, I think we look back and if... Go ahead.
Go ahead, Max. I got something to say, but go ahead.
That's the thing, and we debated it earlier. That's why, to me, Patrick Mahomes had to be Superman to win this game. If you replace Patrick Mahomes with most other quarterbacks, the Bucs would be heavy favorites. I mean, they should be. Brady has a plethora of weapons on offense. He has a healthier offensive line than Mahomes, who's missing, again, both of his Pro Bowl starting tackles. You look at the team, it's not like Brady doesn't have a lot of options, even if Mahomes' top options are better. And the defense, there's no comparison. The Bucs, as you mentioned, have been lights out this entire playoffs, playing defense, all 3 levels, and they create turnovers. The thing about Tyreek Hill, Stephen A, you pointed it out, you started to, he can run a little slant and take it to the house. No question, but I have to believe, given the limited time I think Patrick Mahomes